As women, we're put into two boxes. You're either serious, that's when you're working and you don't take care of your look, or you're beautiful and pretty and dumb. See, that's the misconception. You can be both. Society is very critical and very hard on women. And some women don't want to do it. Just let it be okay for others.
I think when people see women who put a lot of effort in, they're assuming that the woman is looking for attention or that her appearance is all that she has to offer. What is your reaction?
Getting attention makes you feel better, lets you face your world better. Do it.
Yeah.
I mean, who am I to judge? We each have our own struggles, our own insecurities. If this would let you get over it, do it.
That's a good way to put it.
It's like you're preparing yourself to face the world.
You are listening to Humanity Unlocked. I am your host, Kimberly Daya, and today is going to be something a little more light and fun for a change, but it's also a subject that I feel is super interesting, and I think it's going to be relatable for a lot of our listeners. My guest today is Rana Alkhalil.
Alkhalil. Yeah, you did good.
We practiced that ahead of time. She's a 46-year-old married mother of two teenagers. She was born and raised in Dubai, attended college in Lebanon, where she received her degrees in advertising and communication. Rana is fluent in 3 languages, English, French, and Arabic, and at the age of 23, she moved to the U.S., where she later started her family. I met Rana through a mutual friend, and immediately I found her to be so intriguing. The first thing I noticed was her beauty and her style, of course, but the minute we started talking, I realized there was much more to her than what meets the eye. We got on the subject of image, and what I learned was this. The thing to me that stood out was the thing that feels so stressful to me and like so much work to me is the thing that is very much a standard practice for her. It is more to her than just superficiality, which is an assumption I think a lot of people might make. She believes that the practice of putting herself together each day when she leaves the house, no matter the occasion, is in preparation to face the world as the best version of herself. Rana grew up around fashion with parents who worked in the industry, and when she moved to the U.S., she was taken aback by the lackadaisical approach that Americans take towards their appearance. We Americans, we see this as normal, but where Rana is from, and frankly where people from many other cultures are from, the lack of effort towards image is incredibly abnormal. And to be honest, it's probably, vice versa as well. I found myself, feeling taken aback by the level of effort that so many others and especially the Middle Eastern and the Slavic cultures in particular, they put into their day-to-day appearance. Not that I don't appreciate it. I'm actually, inspired by it, which I believe makes for a really fun conversation, and that's why I've asked Rana to join me today. It took some convincing, but I got her here. Welcome to the show, and thank you so much for coming on, Rana.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for the very sweet introduction.
Yes, of course.
I feel flattered.
You are one that is just as beautiful on the inside as you are on the outside. It's so refreshing when you meet somebody with your beauty to talk to you and realize that it's more than skin deep. So my goal is to have that translate over. So it's not just about our appearance today.
Oh, thank you so much. First of all, I don't think I'm beautiful. I think everyone is beautiful, but someone wants to put the effort to look good and someone doesn't want to.
Yeah.
So
I get preference, but we're here to talk about like why you do it, why others might want to consider doing it, and maybe the benefits of it. So I think something we all can learn from, especially us Americans. Okay, I want to begin. Let's have you take us back to how you grew up, because I think that might really set the tone for, the audience to understand where all this comes from for you. So your parents worked in fashion. What area of fashion did they work in, and what was your experience growing up in the industry?
So my parents owned boutiques, and I traveled with them to fashion shows, picked others next season's designs, went to Paris, London, Italy, Spain. Like as a kid, I was there watching them pick fabrics and designs. And even my mom, she was so involved and she loved fashion. And so she would help people style themselves in the boutique, and she wasn't afraid to take risks, and I learned to do that too, like be yourself and express yourself through fashion and clothing.
Was your first work, like your first job in the area of fashion?
I worked as a TV presenter.
Right.
Yeah, and
Right. But as far as like styling, you didn't really get involved in like.
so my show was about fashion and beauty, and so I used to show the latest trends in fashion and beauty and makeup and hairstyles. So that was my first show on TV. So
How fun! That's
yeah,
so fun.
it was fun. So
Okay, so and this started when you were like young, like young.
yes, yes.
Wow.
Like I was a kid. Like I grew up around that.
This is really in your blood.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
It's an addiction now.
Okay, so you worked on television as a TV presenter. How long did you do that for?
Like 4 years.
Were you a teen? Were you in your college?
Like,
or?
I was 18 when I got my first job,
Okay.
and I moved from one channel to another. I was in Ajman TV, Dubai TV, and then my last one was in Dubai. In the Disney Channel in the Middle East, and so
Oh wow.
yeah, and then
Did you
I
love
moved
it?
here. It was fun, very
Yeah.
like you had to do your hair and makeup and be in front of people, went onto live shows, did a lot of traveling with that. Was blessed to be the first to know about the new trends and got to try them firsthand. So it was fun.
So did they send you did that work send you also to fashion shows?
I got to go to fashion
Okay.
shows and
Wow. That's so exciting. So you moved here to the U.S. when you were 23. What do you remember about what you observed about the American population in regard to how they treated their self-image? And please tell us the truth.
So it was.
I'm already laughing.
It was interesting. Like
Okay.
I got a culture shock. You know, I mean, you come from all that. I see people in pajamas out in the grocery store, and I'm like, why? I mean, you can wear a sweatpant and look good, but I mean, they choose to be extra comfortable.
Yeah.
And first time I went out for dinner, and it was. First of all, it was daylight because it was so early. People just eat early and stuff
Yeah.
here. And then people were in their flip-flops, and I was all dressed up. And I'm like, okay, I might be
Was it a nice
bit-
place?
It was. I mean, considerably it was.
Yeah,
And
date night kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, so
But it was everywhere. You were seeing this like this was a cultural phenomenon as to you because this is not anything you'd ever seen back home.
yes, and that's the norm here. Actually, I stood out because I was dressed. Before Instagram and before people got dressed to take pictures to post, like I got dressed for me. I was,
You still don't really do that. I mean, I know with the work, we're going to get into that with the work you do. You take pictures of like products and stuff, but you don't really do the OOTD and the whole taking. You really do it just for yourself.
enjoy it. And
Yeah.
it lifts my spirit. It changes my energy. I feel better when I look better,
That's it's inspiring, and it's something that I hope to find my way back to because I relate. I was that way, like as I said, in my younger years. Okay, so in other countries, we spoke about this in the pre-interview. People would be judged for their lack of effort concerning their appearance, and here in the U.S. Well, first of all, I want to just say before I ask you this question, when we met in person at our friend Heather's house, and we were standing around me, you, and then two other women who were also immigrants, and you all collected, and I'm the only one that's like, born and bred here, and my parents were, and you all collectively said that if you wore sweats or whatever in those countries, people would be like, did you see so and so? Like it would be like the opposite, and it was the first time I'd ever considered the fact that like it is actually a change of culture, and it's a change of perspective on how one carries, like how they carry themselves actually presents as who they are as a person. Am I saying that right? You're actually saying you're saying something about yourself by how you present yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Like, does it translate into like laziness, or does it translate into like, what does it say about somebody back there?
I don't want to judge or
No,
anything.
no, and I know you're not.
And everything has a time and place. And so over there, yes, I mean, my max here is the norm there. Do you get it? Like,
Yes. So how you're dressed today, you would blend in Dubai.
yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So cool. That's actually really cool.
I mean, if my friends watch the interview, they'll be like, really? Like,
They're going to be like, what's so extra?
yeah,
She's normal.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Real Housewives of Dubai?
Yeah, not the real. Actually, I've seen Dubai Bling, not the Real Housewives.
Oh, I think they're filming their second season right now.
Someone told me I have to watch that.
They're spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, they exaggerate. But,
I'm sure.
But again,
oh yeah,
I
it's
mean,
big.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they need to take it to the next notch. But
that's Dubai, kind of.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay, so my question was, have you ever had anyone here tell you that you're too much or that you should tone it down since moving here?
Okay. So if a strong, confident woman would be inspired by me, you know, and I've heard both, you know, someone would pass it as a joke, like tone it down or too much or whatever. And some would be like, oh, we know we're going to see you. So we kind of got an excuse. We all have that dress sitting in the...
No, I'm serious. Like normally I would be wearing something very different. And I thought, well, I'm seeing Rana. I'm going to... It's true. I think...
That's sweet.
You bring that out in us.
And we all have that dress sitting in the closet that we kept for a special occasion. Why not celebrate every day and treat it as a special occasion? That's the fact that we're alive, the fact that we're breathing, the fact that we're healthy. I mean, yeah, get dressed, enjoy it. This would change your entire attitude and your entire approach to your day. If you start your day feeling grateful and start with enjoying yourself and making yourself look better and feel better. Yeah. It will change your entire approach to your day.
Especially, I would think, for someone who is struggling with maybe self-image or self-confidence, if they were to just make that one change and like put a little effort into how they look, maybe that would also translate into other areas of their life. Like start with the basics.
It starts with a small thing and baby steps. And at the end of it, when you start seeing change and when you start seeing results or getting compliments or even feeling better, it all changes you. And then it kind of pushes you to do it more because you are seeing results.
Do you ever feel like you get attention that you don't want, like it's unwanted attention? Like you're like, I don't necessarily love when people always want to comment on it because I'm tall, so I always get the comments on my height already. It doesn't matter what I look like, people comment. So if I'm also dressed and done, then it's like it kind of for me gets in. Do you ever get annoyed that people make such a big deal?
No,
you don't.
No. It's fine.
You take it as a compliment,
yes,
probably the way they
mean
it.
As a compliment,
yeah,
whatever. You know, if someone likes you, they're gonna like anything and everything you do. And if someone doesn't like you, they are gonna criticize and make fun of whatever, no matter what.
Yeah,
I'm 46. Maybe if I was still in my 20s, maybe it would affect me. But now I'm like, whatever. You know, I'm happy if this is making me happy.
Yeah,
it's your problem if you don't like it.
Yeah. That's good. I mean, that's a great attitude to have, and I hope that that's not the thing that's stopping women from doing it. Is they don't want to get that's what I worry about. Is like people don't want, like you think about teenage girls and my daughter, for example. Like she's her style has switched. You have a daughter the same age, so they change and they grow, and she went from being like very casual, like I'm putting it nicely, very, very casual, to like wanting to wear like a little more pink and a little bit more like fun girly stuff. And it was kind of this very slow approach to that change because she was so afraid of like what are people going to say? And I don't think that's only young girls. I think that's grown women. We're afraid that like, what are people going to say if I like do my hair? They're going to be like, where are you going?
Yeah, we are put in a box, you know, whether we're young or old, and we don't want to stand out. But again, it's all up to you and your confidence and your comfort level. Again, people are gonna talk no matter what.
Ooh, true. And consider who's talking to you that way. Is that somebody's that you want to be like? Is that somebody's life that you want? Because like you said, the confident, self-assured woman is going to celebrate you, not put you down.
That's true.
Yeah. Which is a really good point. Okay. So I want to talk about leggings and athleisure, because just in general. In the pre-interview, we talked briefly about the culture of ladies and their Lululemon leggings. This was really eye-opening for me because I don't think it's something I'd really thought of because it's so normal here. But tell me what your thoughts are on like just leggings in general. Let's not even go into athleisure. Let's just talk about leggings.
I mean, it's out. I mean, it was in for a while. It's out. It belongs in the gym. Like, come on.
And it's everywhere.
And it's no matter what brand. I mean, even if you have a designer name on it, it's still for the gym.
Yeah.
Or if you're lounging around the house or whatever. If you're going out, it's okay. I mean, you can wear jeans. I mean, it's not big of an effort. It's a big no-no outside. Like, I was in Japan last summer. I just came back from France. You will see no one on the street in leggings because it doesn't belong outside, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not arguing with you at all, but it's so normal. Well, I don't know how normal it is now. I don't tend to wear my leggings out. I just go to the gym and go home in them. But I feel like you told me a story about a friend that moved here and she was taking her kids to school and she said that all of the moms was it your friend or was it you? And she was like, I don't care. I'm gonna get dressed anyways.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try to fit in with them.
Yeah, it was my friend is actually she's the one who came in and she was like, why do you even put an effort? Like everyone is in leggings and she's like, and you don't know anyone, so why make an effort? I said I do it for me.
You do it
for
you.
If I leave the house and I don't like, of course I have my days that I'm in a bun and I am not feeling well or not happy or whatever, or don't feel like it. But that translates into the rest of my day where it's like I'm just, you know.
Yeah, I can see that. So you did not change your style based on the people around you here. Yeah.
No,
and did she?
Oh, she was visiting.
Oh, she was just visiting.
But she came. Yeah, she comes here with one pair of jeans and she like doesn't do her hair and she's like, yeah, no one knows me. I don't care, you know.
Oh wow! I wonder
yeah.
if that's the feeling of a lot of people from other countries if they come here and they feel like, well, no one sees me, so I can just blend in. You know? You can't. Yeah,
it depends on how you look at it. If you think of it as a burden and as a chore, you're not going to be doing it. And if it's part of you, if this is what you like doing, then you'll continue doing it.
Yeah, and that brings up something I don't want to get ahead of myself, so we'll get to it later. But the whole burden and chore part, I want to talk about that. Okay, for the people who are not in the habit of putting effort into their appearance on a super regular basis, what would be the difference in how you personally would feel? Let's say if like you went to appointments, ran errands in your gym clothes instead of how you normally dress. For you, like let's just say, because I know you go to the gym, so let's say you go to the gym and then you go to a doctor appointment and then you go to the grocery store and then you go pick up your dry cleaning, like, and you make your rounds. How does that day feel? What's the difference between that day and the day you go to the gym, you go home, you get dressed and ready, and then you go do your errands? What are the differences in how you feel?
I like to present myself the way I feel on the inside. And if I leave the gym without doing anything and just go out, it doesn't feel like me.
Okay.
But I do it, and sometimes like I have to, and sometimes I try to. I'll have my makeup and something to do with my hair. Like I just wanna
humanize yourself outside of your gym persona.
Yes, or make myself closer to who I really am. You know. So
that's a good way to put it. That's a good, like, basically you're showing your identity.
Yes.
Because your identity isn't somebody who just wears gym clothes all the time.
Yes.
That makes sense. Okay. So we talked about how a lot of times here, when we put any effort in, we could be criticized or teased. I used to get it all the time. I mean, I will say, like, I really got it all the time. And then I would get the whole, where are you going? Or the whole, like I told you, I had a nickname when I was younger about like the fact that I was so extra, and it didn't really faze me because that was who I was. I mean, I just was that person. But I think for me, I think the reason why I know I'm getting like way off track here with my question, but I think the reason why I've stopped doing it, and this is why I wanted to talk to you, because I think the reason why I was doing it back then was because I had low self-confidence and because I had low self-esteem, and I felt like my only value was in my appearance. So if I don't put all this effort into my appearance, then I don't have any value. Now I have found value on the inside, and that's why I think I've cared less. And now, not to say I still don't enjoy it, because, oh my gosh, when I go to Heather's house, when I met you, like when I, around the right company, I fully enjoy it. But on the day-to-day, I can't seem to find that, because for me at one point it meant something different.
See, okay, first of all, being extra is not something you're picked on. You should take it as a compliment.
Right.
I mean, not everyone is extra.
Right.
That's one thing. Second, we are, as women, we're put into two boxes. Mm-hmm. You're either serious and you don't take care of your look, and that's when you're working and or you're beautiful and pretty and dumb. Mm-hmm. See, that's the misconception.
It's true.
But yeah. I think some women are just projecting their insecurities on others. You can be both.
Well, yeah, that's one of the reasons why I chose you, because I think you were so confused on why do you want me to come on, because you are both.
Society is very, very critical and very hard on women. And I think it's the same way some women don't want to do it. I mean, don't want to put makeup or take care of themselves. Just let it be okay for others to do that. It makes me happy to go get my nails done. Uh-huh. Like when I'm holding my water or my coffee, I feel good that they're clean, they're nice. And again,
I agree with that. I do agree with that.
I mean, you keep on looking at them and you're like, okay. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's the little things that make us happy. We do so much for our families, for our kids. And at work, we juggle so much. These little things would make us feel better, even if we don't like to admit it. But that's the truth.
Well, it's interesting because I'm a part of this Facebook group. It's the Facebook group that's connected to my favorite podcast, Lady Gang. I'll just name drop, like, Lady Gang. It's my favorite podcast. So they have a Facebook group for like the fans of Lady Gang. And somebody asked, this was funny. This just happened yesterday. It's so synchronistic with the fact we're doing this today. One of the ladies asked, what is one thing you do for your appearance that like you swear by, or the one thing that makes you feel good? And I was like, how funny that they're asking this. And I would say out of like 50 comments, over half, maybe 3/4 was nails.
Yeah.
A lot of women. And it's funny because if you look at the female population, it's all different kinds of women. It's the younger, the older, the more casual, the more dressed, like all it expands throughout all of us. So I think there's something to the nails.
Yeah.
I really, and it's funny because I went so long without, I used to get them done all the time, and then I stopped for, many, 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 many years. And I just started recently, and I started doing the podcast again, and I noticed too. So I think, sorry, I know that's silly to point out, but it seems silly, but it's like there's something about it.
It just puts a smile on your face when you look and you're like, yay, you know?
Yeah, you feel dainty and girly, and Okay, so, all right, so this is what I want to ask you. The whole "where are you going" question that causes us to become self-conscious. So I want to get your thoughts on this. When a woman judges another woman who puts effort into her appearance, whether it's that she starts to dress nicer or wear makeup or lose weight, what does that say to you about the woman who's making the judgment for, judging the other woman for putting effort into her appearance? Because I feel like it says more about the woman who's doing the judging than it does about the woman who's actually putting the effort in. If that makes sense.
Again, they're projecting their own insecurities.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah, and they, sadly, very few women are supportive. A lot, I don't want to generalize. They just want to put each other down. And when they see something that they can't do or they don't want to do or whatever, they just try to make it
bring the other woman down
and make the whole thing look less, or make fun of it, or just make you feel bad.
You think that comes from jealousy, or?
I think it's jealousy and lack of self-esteem. Again, even if you can't do something, but you're confident or you don't want to do it, you don't put it down.
No,
You just
I'm a
express
perfect example of
yourself.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you look amazing.
No,
yourself,
but I don't normally.
No,
So that's why I say it. Like when I look at, as someone who does not get ready every day, and I see someone like you or Heather, or many others in my life, it is inspiring to think like, wow, like look at her. You know, it doesn't trigger me in the other direction to put that person down. I also think sometimes people think, well, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I was just going to say, like, I think sometimes people think that you're trying to get attention, which I know you're not at all. But
I love Heather, and she's one of the first people that encouraged me to actually post my pictures
Yes.
and put them on Instagram, because I never used to post me, and I knew her before that. And she's also gorgeous, even without all of that. So
and such a sweet person. I love her to death. Okay, so something interesting about you that I did not know until we met for our pre-interview is that you have a lot of feminist traits. You believe in female empowerment. You have also talked about how people have this misconception that women get dressed for men, which is so funny to me, which you say is very false. I think when people see women who put a lot of effort in, they're assuming that the woman is looking for attention or that her appearance is all that she has to offer. What is your reaction? Have you heard that? Like women think we're getting dressed for, what is that all about?
It's sad. I mean, first of all, I want to start by I have been married for 23 years to a very handsome guy, and I love my husband, and I expect the same out of him too. Like I expect him to take care of his appearance and look good every day. And so that has nothing to do with, women or men. Then I dress for myself. We just mentioned it. I mean, I used to dress up before Instagram, before anything, and because it makes me feel good. I go by the motto, dress good, feel good, look good, and feel good.
Right.
And so it reflects on your personality, the way you see others, the way you go out to face the world.
Yeah.
And the world picks up on your energy. And so if you're confident on the inside, I mean, and that's my goal from getting ready. It's like you're preparing yourself to face the world.
What are your thoughts on the women who get dressed or get ready and they're doing it to get attention? And because I think that's, there's also women who do that too. And I think I was one of them, to be honest with you. And that's why I think I don't harshly judge them, because I was one of them. I'm like, I get it. That was me. I over posted about myself, always, overdoing it. I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing though. I think that I'm not actually not sure how to think about that. Do you see that women who are they go through the effort because they want the attention, they're doing it for the attention?
Oh, so
you probably look at it completely differently.
Yeah, I never thought of it as a woman trying to get the attention of other women. Okay, but again, let's go back to the confidence and what makes you feel good. If they're doing it, if getting attention makes you feel better, lets you face your world better, gives you some peace, then do it. I mean, who am I to judge? And we each have our own struggles, our own insecurities. If this would let you get over it, do it.
That's a good way to put it. I had a friend who, beautiful girl, but she had an illness and on a lot of medication. She'd gained a lot of weight, and but still very, very pretty, very stylish and everything. And she would take a lot of pictures of herself, but she would this was a long time ago. Nobody will guess who she is, so I'm not worried about talking about it because we're not friends anymore. But she would alter the pictures, like to make her to like Photoshop or whatever, and then she would post them. And I knew, because I saw her frequently, that looks nothing like her. Like she has completely altered herself to look like somebody different. But it was clear to me that she's doing this for attention, because why else would you post something that doesn't look like you? Now, do I put a filter on my face to cover up my acne scars? All the time. But this was something completely different. But my thought was this: she's sick, she's suffering, she's on medication, she's gained all this weight. who cares? Like,
Yeah.
why
If it
do
makes her feel better,
At
why
first, it was
not?
frustrating for me. I'm like,
Yeah.
why is she doing that? That's not even her. And then she'd get all of the comments of like, oh, you're so beautiful. I wish I looked like you, you know. And it was a little bit frustrating because to me it was like a lie. But then I always say, consider, okay, why though? Where is it coming from? It's
Yeah.
coming from pain, you know,
That's,
and it
yeah,
makes it easier.
that's a great way to look at it, and to empathize with everybody. Put
Yeah.
yourself in their shoes and why they're doing it.
People don't just do those things for no reason. You know, like if she's not self-empowered and confident or whatever, there's probably a reason for it. So let's have empathy instead of judging. Like the why. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And
I
it's
agree.
a very tough time to live right now. Like
Mhm.
as a girl, as a woman, as a teenager, it's just the stuff we see online.
Yeah,
And
and the standards that
the
we're all.
standards
Mhm.
that are unrealistic.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I agree with you. Okay. We talked about how there's a culture here in this country of a lot of women putting themselves last, which will oftentimes translate over into how they present themselves in public. What do you think it is about this country in particular, or this culture in particular, that has women putting themselves last? And that's the first part of my question. The second part is this happening in other countries too?
So I think women around the world put themselves last.
Okay.
It's by nature. It's odd for a mom not to, or a woman not to
Yeah.
put others before her and before her needs and everything. But they tell you you need to take care of yourself before attending others. On a plane, the 1st thing they tell you is if there's an emergency, put your mask first before you put it on your
Yeah.
kids. Or so
Yes.
that's that selfish. So we need to prioritize ourselves. Take getting ready as a priority, as part of our daily routine, and not a chore. Like look at it as you're as going to the gym or
Taking a
or
shower, brushing your teeth.
Exactly. Just making, like, taking care of yourself should not be like that misconception of doing it for others or whatever. It's a good thing that will refresh you on the inside.
Right.
It will make you feel so much better when what you see in the mirror is someone you would want to be, like someone who is fresh and looks ready to face the world.
Do you feel like women feel selfish for doing that?
Of course.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's the misconception of prioritizing yourself, and it's looked down at like, oh God, she has the time, but no
Right.
one has the time.
Somebody said that to me when I was talking about this episode. Oh, the time. Yeah.
I mean, first of all, when you're always doing it, it becomes second
Quick.
nature.
I asked you how long did it take you. You said, I'm ready. I'm the first one ready. You
Yeah,
said.
I mean, it's because I'm so used to it. I
Yeah.
have my routine, and then it doesn't take any time, and you can take more time having your coffee and relaxing than getting ready. So
Yeah.
it's
So
not
the more often you do it, the quicker you become at it, and
Yes.
it's not. Yeah.
and it's all about priorities. If you think this is something important to you, you would do it.
It's same as working out.
Yes.
People that say, I don't have time to work out. Well,
Yes.
your health. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Like my husband just recently started working out at the new year or in December. And before that, it was all about time, not having time. I said, you have the time.
Yes.
You have to get up an hour earlier or whatever. And then he was already getting up an hour earlier. He was just choosing not to use that hour to work out. So then anyway, long story short, now he's
Working
prioritized
out.
it. But yeah, it's like we all have the same 24 hours in a day. It's all about what's important to us. I still say it's so funny to me. We laugh about it because I used to get up every day, even on non-work days, shower, curl, wash, dry, curl my hair. This is back when I wash my hair every day. Wash, dry, curl my hair, full makeup, outfit. I didn't even own a pair of shoes that were not heels. I did not even own a pair. I think I had a pair of sneakers. I remember one time, that I needed to wear like non-heels, and I'm like, I don't have any. It was so funny to me, and now I'm this person, so I don't even know what happened. It's so hilarious. Okay, right, Mark? He's sitting behind the camera. Okay. Tell me.
But
Yes.
you still look amazing with heels or with flats or whatever.
Thank you.
And we all can choose the style as long as it makes you feel comfortable and you're happy with it. and you're just put together in any style. You can look amazing.
Yeah, I have a note to talk about that too, about style. You mentioned to me about try to have a style. I actually wrote that down, try to have a style. And in referencing what we were just talking about, me not having heels, I'm just going to illustrate. My style has changed a lot over the years. Now, my nice shoes, is this camera on me, look like this, like for like the day to day. Like it's not necessarily a heel anymore, but it's not a sneaker. So what I'm saying is it's like you can still dress up and not be or still dress nice and not be so overdressed and dressed up, because I wanted to stop wearing heels because I'm already 5'10" and I didn't want to be 6'2" anymore because it's too tall for me. So anyway, so I wanted to ask you, okay, do you think a lot of us make it harder on ourselves than it has to be? And what advice would you give the women who want to make more of an effort and who feel like they can't for whatever reason? What's your advice to them?
Okay. Yes, I do. Like,
make it hard on ourselves,
especially if we're trying. Like, don't try too hard. Do what works for you.
Right.
I love heels, but I get it. I mean, sneakers are way more comfortable. But again, I feel more confident when I'm in heels.
Yeah.
And my walk is different, and I carry myself differently.
Yes.
Like, so that's why. And I'm used to it. So it doesn't bother me. And But
that's your style.
But do what works for you.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
everyone should do what works for them. As in for, to have a style. No, I mean, to get ready and be able to get dressed. I have few words of advice. Like, get your outfits ready when you have time. Like, prepare ahead. Plan ahead for what you're going to wear for the week. And a lot of people think it's going to be so expensive or...
Yeah, I got that too. I heard that too.
But we are so lucky here that we have so many options, like the Nordstrom Rack and TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Ross. They have hidden gems.
Oh, yeah.
The amazing brands at fraction of the price. I always shop there. And I always get so many compliments on my outfits. And I'm like, you need to know how much I paid for it, because I'm always so proud of myself for scoring a deal.
Yeah.
Invest in like your accessories, a belt, a nice bag, great shoes. This will elevate your entire outfit and will give you a more sophisticated look.
Yes. Yeah, we talked about how like you can take a pair of jeans and like even like a white t-shirt, and it's what you add to it, like with the jewelry and the jacket and the shoes and the sunglasses and the belt and and
these you can wear with different outfits. You can style differently. And I share my closet with my daughter. Like, we share a lot of our clothing. But it's funny, like how we style the same piece. It looks completely different.
Wow.
Like, she's so casual and she's hippie-ish, and I am, more dressy. And I love to see the same piece styled in so many different ways. And this reflects on the power of accessories and styling.
Yeah. And you just got back from Paris?
Yes.
And tell us how much luggage you took there. One bag or something like that?
Yes, I always, I travel with very light. My husband hates it when I take so much bags.
Oh, my husband would too.
Yeah, and so I'm always trying to be creative and planning ahead. I always plan ahead I would know every single day what I'm wearing with what accessories, and try to use the same piece on different outfits.
Do you think you're able to take less because of the accessory aspect of this? Like, because accessories are what's making every outfit, you can actually take less clothing?
Absolutely.
See, that to me is an interesting, because I don't do that. I take so much clothing and probably not enough accessories.
Oh no, I mean it's the accessories that would change the whole look, and then you don't have to carry it much.
So for the listeners, think about that. Like, you're not actually having to go buy a bunch of clothes. You could just take a few really good basic pieces, and then it's how you style them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you're having problems with styling, we have Pinterest, Instagram.
Oh, yes.
Choose someone that you can relate to, that shares a similar lifestyle with you, someone that looks like you, and you can copy and get inspiration of their style. They even share their clothing and where they got it from if you can't even find it. So
Yeah.
it's a lot easier now.
Yeah, because there are people that are actually, their work is to influence you and
Yep.
show you looks and to have you purchase from their links.
Yes.
So it's very easy now. I'm actually very thankful for it. I rarely ever have to go out shopping because they're all in my Instagram feed. Okay. All right. So we talked about the essential pieces. It has to do more with what you add to the outfit. Ross Marshall's. That's all really good. But the whole don't try too hard to make something work that isn't your style, I think is like really important. Don't try to be somebody you're not. Like, I think that because you can't maintain or sustain a style that isn't yours over time. If you're comfortable with it, it's something you're able to continue on with and keep up with. But if you're trying to be somebody you're not, that's not you, because you said you are you when you are dressed. You are not you when you are in gym clothes. So we have to know who we are to
Yes.
figure out what our style is, which I think is really good advice too. Because I think that I think me trial and error. I think I was trying to be somebody I wasn't for a long time. Okay. All right, so go ahead.
No, that's why I said, like, when you are looking on Instagram or Pinterest, choose someone that you can relate to,
Yeah.
that has a similar lifestyle, that you think you look like them.
I do that.
It makes it easier to
To duplicate what they're
Yes.
doing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I choose the tall blonde girl, that looks like a similar build to me all the time with no chest. Yep, that's my girl. Send those my way. Okay. I would love for you to share some of the positive reactions you get when you're out and about, because I think it's going to encourage other people to hear what people say that's positive, because I think for a lot of people it's fear of the reaction. So what's some of the good stuff you hear from people?
So before I start on the good stuff that I hear, I try to give compliments to people every day. Like if I see a woman, especially women, making, like, if I see, like, I can sense there's an effort, or I would definitely give her a compliment. And a lot of times my kids are like, where do you know her from? I'm like, I don't know her, but I just, because you would see the big smile on their face the minute they get a compliment. Sometimes you're having a bad day and you just get a compliment on your hair, or you'll be like,
True.
they get a big smile. You never get a smirk when you tell someone, oh, you look good, or I love your outfit. Everyone immediately, like, just try it and you'll immediately get a big smile on their face, like, yay, someone noticed, or yay, I look good, or
Yeah, that's a good tip. Just to get in the habit of complimenting people, because what it's doing is it's also paying it forward too. The more you're doing that, you're encouraging them to continue to put that effort in themselves.
True.
Yeah,
That's true. And you don't know what someone's day is or what people are going through. So why not?
Why not
do one positive thing?
Yeah.
As in, for me, I've gotten so many compliments. So many sweet things that, like, a lot of times, oh, you're, like, now in the summer, because I'm always colorful. Today I'm wearing black because I had a pink outfit planned, but it's too cold and I get too cold. And so I had to switch it. So it's always like, oh, you remind me of, oh, you look like you belong on the beach, or, oh, you look so fresh. Oh, you put a smile on my face just looking at you. And kids are the cutest thing. Like, I had a lot of girls, because I wear a lot of pink. A lot of little girls, oh, you look like Barbie, or, oh, this is, like.
Yeah. If people are looking at you, like if they're staring at you and you notice they're looking but they're not saying anything, do you ever say anything to them?
I smile.
Just smile.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I think that's too what people are afraid of. They don't want to be looked at. I mean, there's a lot of insecure women. There just are. And I think that people are so afraid to change anything about themselves because they don't want they're afraid of reaction. I don't know why and where it comes from. Again, I told you I see it in teenage girls, but I also see it in grown women. And one of my good friends is a therapist. I have her on the show once a month, and we've talked about this before, how, like, people will want to fade in the background, so when you do put some energy in and you do, like, put a little bit of effort in, and somebody gives you a compliment, then it encourages them to keep doing it, number one, but also too, like, if you are doing that and nobody says anything and they're just looking at you, I think the advice would just be to smile back at them. If they're just looking at you and they're not recognizing or saying anything to you about it, just don't feel discouraged because people are just staring at you and not saying anything, you know?
I I always tell my kids, and like, people look at you because there's something special about you.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they like it or they don't, you are special.
Mm-hmm.
And you shouldn't be afraid to be special and different.
Yeah.
Different is good.
Different is good. Yes.
And so,
That needs to be talked about more because I feel like people are afraid to.
again,
Be
it's that
themselves.
mold, you know,
Yeah.
that we are put in,
Yeah.
that, they're afraid to
To
stand
be-
out.
Mhm, to stand out. Okay. Before we start to wrap, I want to have you share, or I want to share the work you're doing over on Instagram with the audience. So you have to tell me if I'm right on this. I made some notes and I sent them to you. So it's Luxury Deal and Steal is your online consignment and resale platform where you source designer pieces at a discount, and for a small markup, you pass along the savings to your followers on Instagram. So for example, you noticed you recently featured a pair of, I think they're Gucci heels that retail at $1,100. You had them priced for $750. You also share affiliate links for massive sales for the online retailers are running with your followers, which I've really appreciated. I've bought a few things from those. I've taken advantage of those, and also too the products that you've featured. I'm going to leave a link in the show notes for your Instagram page for anyone who wants to check out the deals and the finds that you share. But what else can we share with them about the process of purchasing from you? Like, what would that look if somebody were to follow you and they were to see something? They just send you a DM? Like, how does that work?
So first of all, I want to say everything is 100% authentic. A lot of people, check out my page and they're surprised with the prices, that they're scared.
Yeah.
And so, it's all 100% authentic, purchased by me. I always loved designer stuff, but I never wanted to pay full price. Like, I like a deal. I always do. And so at the beginning, it started as a hobby because I would buy stuff for my friends and send them to Dubai because things there are crazy expensive.
Oh, wow.
And then they're like, why don't you do an Instagram page so we can see what you have? And so I started doing that, and then it grew. And again, I go back to Heather, that she's the one who's like, post yourself. You have to, people have to see you. And so, I'm grateful for her for pushing me to do it because I was so embarrassed to show myself. But, and so I started doing that. And then my page grew, and, a hobby translated into a small business.
Yeah.
And so in addition to that, I find deals at stores, and because you miss so many deals when they're going on, especially now there's a huge sale going on. And so everywhere, like
everywhere.
on my
Day,
stories, like I'm linking deal after deal. Yesterday, my thumbs got numb because I'm like, oh my God, there's so much to share.
I gotta go look.
And so I love it when people send me. I made so many friends from this page because of great people that really appreciate what I'm doing, and I love it and enjoy it when they tell me, oh my God, I scored this thing or I got this.
I mean, I'm going to wear something tonight that I bought from you. I've been holding on to it for a long, I almost wore it today, and I'm like, because I'm going out to dinner tonight with my sister and our husbands. It was a Balmain top. You shared it a couple of different times. It was kind of like sleeveless and had gold.
Yes.
Yeah, so
yes,
I've held on to
beautiful.
it. Yeah, and I bought a Gucci belt. I bought Chanel earrings. I mean, a few different things. So, and good prices for everything. So just to let the audience
sweet.
know.
I'm so glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to talk about the challenge this was your idea, which I think is a great idea. So tell our audience what you have in mind.
So last night I couldn't sleep at night. I was so excited about this.
I love it.
And so this idea came to my mind. I'm like, okay, we're talking about how it makes you feel good and how it changes your perspective on the entire day when you get ready and when you look good. So I was thinking, after we air this, we give it a few days and we decide on a day that we start a challenge, a 1-week challenge, 7 days, where you get dressed, take a picture, and send it to me or to you.
Yeah.
And we'll post it and tag each other, they post it and tag us. And this way, we can all encourage each other to look good.
Yeah.
Whether you're wearing shorts and a t-shirt, but accessorize, do your hair. And if you're in jeans, just put some makeup on. Show us your style.
Yeah.
And let's see how it changes how you feel and how it changes your day and your perspective into everything else. And yeah,
think
let's
it's
do
such-
it together.
It's such a good idea. I really need this because I work from home, except for when I record and do the pre-interviews. I'm at home editing and stuff. And my husband will tell you, who's behind the camera, that I mean, some days I look scary. And I get so knee deep in what I'm doing that I'm not even, until I go use the bathroom and I pass by a mirror and I'm like, oh, wow, that's not great. Okay, so yeah, so I'm going to link her Instagram page. As usual, I'll link mine, and then you guys can send tag us in pictures, and we will share them, and it will help all of us to make more of an effort. I feel like I will speak for myself. It will help me. Okay, so anything else before I sign off?
No,
This
I
has been
just
so
wanted, I really wanted to thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh,
This
thank
was
you.
so much fun.
Yes.
I
love getting to know you too through this process because we've just known each other through Instagram
Yes,
basically,
me too.
and this has just been awesome.
And you're beautiful on the inside and
Thank you.
outside, and
Back at you.
I'm excited about this. I hope, and I forgot. Like, I feel flattered that you picked me. I mean, I told you more than once, like, why me?
I know you were so confused.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean? Why you?
My kids said the same thing. They're like why? But I'll let them hear this. I mean,
Yes.
have them watch this and
Yes.
they'll know.
I'm like, don't you know who your mom is?
Yeah.
She's a big deal.
I again, to everyone, I hope everyone would, follow the motto where you look good, you will feel good, and you will do good. And so hopefully we'll all do that challenge and send pictures and share pictures and encourage each other to do this for
Yes.
ourselves, so we can be better models for everyone around us and even better providers.
Yeah. And I want to hear how it translates into everybody else's, how they do like day to day. Are you more productive? Do you feel like you have an extra skip in your step? Are you walking more confidently? Like, how is that translating over to your work and to your social life? And send us that information too. So this has been so much fun. I've wanted to do an episode on this topic forever. I knew you were going to be my girl. From the minute, and I think I said it multiple times. I'm like, you're coming on my podcast. Thank you for agreeing to do this. Thank you for being here. Everyone, go check out the show notes for a link to follow Rana on Instagram and get on the action to receive these amazing steals and deals that she shares. With that, thank you guys for watching and for listening. But I wanted to let you know that I may or may not be back next week. We are going on vacation for my daughter's 16th birthday, so if you do not see me back, that is why. I will leave a note on YouTube. If you don't see me back, I'll see you guys back the following week. Thanks for listening, and we will see you in 1 or 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this conversation, please give it a like and leave me a comment. I want to know what you guys think. Also, if you're looking for more information about how to be a guest on the show, please go to our website at humanityunlockedpodcast.com. We only record shows in person, and we are located in Sacramento, California. Oh, and if you're not subscribed, make sure you tap that button so you can get updated on weekly episodes as they go live. Is that it? I think that's it. See you guys next time.